was the 50th take where I was able to like, okay, Eric showed me how to press record. He showed me how to probably timestamp it. Then it was like he would leave the room. He would leave the room, and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna record this verse. So I'm gonna record this bar, right? And I just kept on going at it, and finally he would come back in the room, and he's like, "Are you done?" And then he would play it, and then it'd be like, Eric and Britt would both give me like some advice. They'd be like, but I think you could do this harder, or like you could vocalize that more profound. And I'd be like, okay. And then I just keep doing it. And then, dude, you know what's crazy is? I can't rap with headphones on.
Like not even one headphone?
Has to do it out loud.
Has to do it out loud.
Through the monitors.
I have to hear the beat.
Wait, you were hearing yourself?
Yes.
No, he wasn't hearing himself.
Oh,
so the beat was playing through the monitors, but like out in the open.
Yeah.
How the hell did you record that?
My point. You know how hard it is to engineer that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I had to like use EQs to like get out the little pops
man,
of
the
noise,
yeah,
you know,
man.
like
Like the first couple times I came here to try and rap, I would just be like, if I had the headphones on, I'd be like, camel strapped down from my head to my toe. And Eric and Britt would be like, yo, talk about it. Like emotions, man.
Yeah.
And then I think it was you. I think it was Britt. Britt said, take the headphones off. And then from there, I said, camel strapped down from my head. And then they were like, I was like, they were like, whoa.
I
From there,
can understand that. I can understand it being easier with like the headphones off and hearing it, but like as an engineering standpoint, it's like impossible.
Yeah, but I mean, like, think about it. If you're mixing a song, like for you, when you're making the beat, if you have the headphones on, it's so much more dull and lifeless. But when it's out in the open, you feel the energy. You're
True.
That's fair.
right? So like, I wanted to ask, where did you get the samples from?
Yes.
Like, I mean, the trumpets, the horns, and all that. Like,
Tell the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is, I don't know, have you heard the story?
Yes, I heard the
I
story.
haven't heard anything about like the
What
making
I
of
told
the
him is I said after the event, Five Sin City, which we'll talk about, we got to discuss what that is. You said, Mike, I got a surprise for you.
Yeah.
And you brought me into your car and you played the beat, and I started bawling.
Yeah.
And you were telling me about how it came to be, and you would hear me rapping my poem in my room.
That's right.
So,
funny, me and Mike used to live together for
Yes.
anybody watch.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, actually multiple times I've been home, and Mike had no idea I was home because I just walk really quietly on my feet.
Yeah, he's very quiet.
And for a big man, I walk very quietly.
I was gonna say you're like 8 feet.
That's what I'm saying.
And so there's a lot of times I was at home and he was practicing because he had to do this rap speech. Like there was people doing speeches, but he was doing a rap, and it was an a cappella rap.
Yeah.
So I heard him just going hard as hell in his room, and I was just like, and like I knew in my head, I was like, he doesn't know I'm home. Like there's no way he's going this hard out loud and like thinking I'm home.
Yeah.
So I heard him rapping, and then I think it caught him by surprise when I texted him saying, yo, send me a voice recording
I was like,
of you rapping.
I was like,
He's like, wait, you heard this? You heard that?
I was scared. Because I was like, well, I hope he didn't think I'm bad. I was like getting in my head, and I was like,
But no, I heard it. I heard it, and I was like, this sounds pretty sick, because like when you're by yourself, you know, you're going hard, and like
It's way
different.
more organic.
Yeah, exactly. It's authentic. It's coming from like the true you. And so when I heard it, I said, I sent him a text like, can you send me that like as a voice recording? And he had a hard time doing it because that started making him
then it
nervous,
was
right?
very,
Yeah.
But he sent me a voice recording. I don't think he thought anything of it, but my whole idea was like, I want to try to like at least from this voice recording, which is obviously, if you know from an engineering standpoint, it's hard to put onto and he doesn't even have a tempo yet. Like I had to fully like make up a tempo.
beat flow, nothing. Like
Awesome, that's interesting. You engineered the whole beat to like something that wasn't even like, he didn't have no metronome going.
No, nothing.
So you were just like chopping his voice then putting it on time.
Yeah,
That's wild.
I was trying to anyway. Like it didn't sound very great.
Camel dropped down to my head. Like,
No, straight up. So I usually start my songs with chords for some reason. Don't know why. I wanted to like get a vibe, and so like literally all it started with was me and an Analog Labs patch, and I just wrote out some chords and just like chords with that top melody.
Okay.
No, not the horns.
Okay.
Just like there's a small melody, like the counter melody almost to it. And so I wrote that down. I was like, okay, this is kind of I like the vibe here. And then I wanted it to feel like a Not Afraid feel, almost but like more old school and urban, like more like rough.
Okay.
So that's like kind of the vintage. I wanted it to have like a vintage feel. So that's why I was looking up all these vinyl like recordings with like the trumpet and whatever. And so when I picked the chords, I'll obviously use a certain key. I forget what the key is.
God only knows. I have no idea.
Anyway, so I'm looking up and I'm on Splice. So in Splice, you can look up certain, you can go like certain BPMs, you can go whatever. And I figured out a certain BPM that I thought it worked. I forget what it was. And so then these trumpet sounds came up and I was like, that's sick. That's what I'm going for. So
that's just a Splice sample.
It's a Splice sample.
No shit.
So those are Splice samples, like just the trumpets are Splice samples. And then after that, I was like, okay, but this needs like a hook. Like it needs something to like tie it all together. No, it's crazy, man. What's crazy is I'm looking up in it, like I wasn't even doing, you could do like between BPM range, like range of this to that.
Yeah.
And so I search up the exact BPM just because I wanted to see if there's any samples just like luckily in that BPM that sounded cool. And I swear, and this is why I told Mike, I was like, I swear it can't, like I literally had goosebumps writing because I was like, how is everything falling into place so easily? Like especially as a producer, by the way, I'm an EDM producer. I don't do hip hop or rap. So like I was just like kind of shooting in the dark here. And I look up for this BPM, this key, like it was whatever minor or whatever it was, and then out of nowhere this one vocal sample comes out, and it's the one that ended up being the one from the song, and it's like you gotta stand up and fight, and that was like the main part of it. And I remember just like having like goosebumps.
That's wild.
I had tears in my eyes. I was like, damn, it feels like his brother's gotta be just giving this to me.
Crazy. And I remember, so like right after I did my poem and I did the rap at Fussin' City, he calls me over and he's like, Mike, I got a surprise for you. And I was already so emotional because I was so scared to perform this in front of the audience, because it was like I've never shown anyone these bars. And to be honest with you, I wrote these bars when I was suicidal. I had people telling me I couldn't be anything. There was a lot of resentment and anger towards people in my life who, you know, I would say something and they would chop it down, you know. And so it was coming from here. And I was so insecure about it. And then when I knew this guy heard it, I was like, okay, he's one of my best friends, but I'm still like, I don't want anyone to hear that. And Christian already, the runner of Fussin' City, of course, for those who don't know, and he's my mentor, he was like, I know it's very hard for you to do this, because he was the only person I ever showed the bars to. He's like, but I want you to perform it. So that's why I was rehearsing in my room, because I was so scared. And then when it came to Chase showing me after the performance, I was already so emotional because I just performed that in front of my parents, in front of some of my best friends, in front of people who I didn't know were going to become some of my best friends. And it was just like this huge dump of like 18 years of sorrow and trauma and pain. And then he pulls me over and he's like, yo, I got a surprise. So he brings me in the car and he puts this beat on, and
with his chopped up voice, with his voice recording, by the way.
Okay, that's with the voice recording.
I should find that.
Dude,
I need to find that.
You should, please. And then he's like, this is what I've been doing. And bro, I just started bawling. I just was like, what the heck? Like, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I have my first song, and it's with my best friends. Didn't even know it was gonna be a thing. And then the beat, when the hook hit, I was like, whoa. And then he told me the story about how my little brother was like talking to him and like how he felt like his presence, and it just
well, it just made no sense to me. I'm like, how are these samples just falling into place? Like everything sounds sick. I was like, what the hell?
We both just started bawling. Like we just were like, and then we just like, I love you, man, and like this is gonna be so special. And then you reached out to me.
Yeah, without you though, this whole thing is
but no, dude, you guys would have figured a way, 100%.
No.
I promise
you made the entire beat, and you've engineered multiple. You make some of the
pieces about a rap.
No.
Okay, well,
no.
All right.
Give yourself.
I'll give you that.
100%. And like even like the engineering for the voice and stuff. Like it's different. Rapping and like the stuff that I do is mostly just like singers and stuff.
Right. But I've heard what you do. Like you pull some like so much clarity out of somebody's voice, and like I need you to help me out, dude. Like because you got
for singing parts, but like I don't know.
You got some sauce for like clarity. It's very sharp.
Different songs.
Yeah. There's different strengths, like 100%.
Yeah. That's why we all work.
But for some reason, who didn't know what Dairy Queen was when you were 19 years old, for someone who didn't know how to use a door handle, bro, you managed to know how to make music. like 90% of what you wrote, I didn't have to touch much.
Yeah.
There's like it was even structured very well.
That's a good point.
So I was just
that
like,
means a lot.
yeah. So I was like, you just gotta add a couple of words here to
Yeah.
stretch out that bar, and then maybe take one or two, and it's like it's already flowing.
Thank you.
We barely have to do anything.
That's
You wanna know what that comes down to? That comes down to when you're really fucking, like when you're saying something from the soul. When
Yes.
it's the most authentic
Yes.
piece ever.
100%.
That's when all of the best art has been created. Whether people know it or not. It's when you're super present and
Yeah.
you're just actually giving a piece of yourself as your gift to the world.
and when you're
Yeah.
highly emotional.
That too.
Like
Yeah.
I remember when the first
Big time.
the first 6 to 12 bars that I wrote or whatever, like I remember that first camo strap down from my head to my, I remember writing that, and it was right after I just had someone who I was really close to and who I loved very much basically say hey, what you're doing right now, I don't think it's gonna work, and I don't want you to continue to pursue it because I don't want you to get hurt. Meanwhile, this was my dream, this was my heart. So it was to have that transformed into those bars.
Yeah.
That's why it's some of the bars that are in there is I gave you 20 years sick and got nothing in return, right? And then it's camo strapped down from my head to my toe, meaning this thing that you told me is not gonna work, I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna show you that it's gonna work.
See, look at that. You were even throwing metaphors in there before you knew what a metaphor was.
That's
I didn't even know how to read, really.
It's like reading back the sheets. It's like, what does that say? You're like, it says camel strapped down. It says off our father's
Bro, I can attest.
handwriting must have been atrocious.
I can attest to that, by the way. I can attest to that because I remember we were with Christian and you were like, what?
Bro, listen to the
on
story.
a car meter, he's like, what did you say? What's 17 o'clock?
So
I had no idea what that meant.
bro, this was a year and a bit after I started getting healthy and I'm starting to hang out with Chase and
Yeah, yeah.
Christian and we're
Yes.
doing,
Living
and
for once in your life.
right? And Christian's old apartment, the parking meter was in 24-hour clock,
Yeah, all
right?
the time, man.
So I didn't understand what that was. And so Christian's like, Mike, you gotta pay for parking. And in my heart, in my core, I'm fucking shaking and I'm nervous and I'm I've never done this. And so I was I got it, right? But I was intimidated. So I pulled out $5 or something and I started putting it in and Christian's like, yo, what are you doing? It's 17 o'clock. He's like, you know what that is, right? I'm like, what's 17 o'clock? And then he's like,
And I'm
bro.
literally chuckling.
He's
Christian's all right, maybe don't laugh at him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, bro, this is a different time stamp. This is reading time differently. Have you ever learned about 24-hour clock? I'm like, no.
He's all embarrassed.
I'm I was so embarrassed. And then what happened was he's like, okay, let me show you. And then Chase was because Chase was praising me and he's like, bro, you've grown so much since I last saw you. Because this is a year after you first visited me and met me. So it was I was on chemo.
A big hit to me. I was like,
Yeah. and then Chase was like, wait, you don't know what that is? And I remember that was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
But I was genuinely just shocked because were you not graduated at that time?
Yeah.
So I'm
I was 20 years
so in
old.
my brain I'm like,
That's
how
not-
are you graduated?
That's a good point, though.
You're right.
The fact that you've been in you went to school, but you weren't present, but
Yeah.
you were still around people with a brain.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you're right. You're right.
that's very interesting.
That's a whole other topic.
That's a whole. But the thing was, to touch on it quick, is no shame, no guilt, no resentment to anyone. But my high school was about, and my grade school was about, if he's alive, we're happy. You know what I'm saying? It was the same with my brother. My brother was oh, he showed up to class today. Great. He can just color on a piece of paper. And he's learning, right?
He got his diploma.
He got his diploma, right? Or it's okay, Mike, he averaged 50-60% in classes because, we know he's dying and he's got a lot of issues. So at least he's here. He's persevering, right?
Gold star, buddy.
Exactly. I got a lot of those. Anyway, so then when I graduated high school, it was I got the diploma, but it's real life shit. It's no. And the other thing was, at that time, I didn't want to live past high school.
Yeah.
So it's why
No,
am I going to put any effort
100%.
into learning? And nothing in
You
me.
can't read
right?
the clock. Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? if you
My
don't know-
time's short. I don't
Yeah,
want to know when I'm
exactly.
dying. Who cares?
You can't read the
Why
clock when
do
you're
I
brave.
want to read time when I know the time is just going to show me the lack of life that I have in my existence? You know what I'm saying? It's
That's okay.
so
wait,
why?
Hey,
Hey, bro, this is
Hey, it was
it's
true.
reality.
Yes.
It's reality, So now, and here we are. It's I'm oh, okay, I got work in 2 hours. I know when to go. Rather than What is the time? Oh, I can't read that. Never having a job or anything.
Hey, Cora,
You gotta come in here.
you gotta come in here because you're already in frame. You've been just munching. You've been eating.
Yeah! I thought you saw that.
Yeah, you've just been eating.
That's
Honestly, that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
That is. We gotta put that in
it's
as.
gonna be in the fucking background. Just,
We gotta put that in as a blooper.
oh,
That's
as a
cool.
blooper, that's gonna
show
be.
me in it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be.
Oh, true. When I'm saying that crazy dark stuff, just Britt's in the background.
She's just eating a bagel. Just.
I'm literally working. I'm like creating a stencil, like showing photos
Whatever,
before and after today. Oh my god.
Amazing.
I want to know more about the relationship between like you guys musically. Like, is there gonna be more plans to do like more
I hope
music?
so.
Like, I mean,
I'm curious about the same thing. Why don't we just do
Yeah.
something together?
well,
Why-
that's
we
just
should.
it. Like,
We
I mean,
should.
well, think about it. Like, you're working full time. You got like 6 different positions in your life. I'm doing video full time, but like together though, like we can make some
We
time.
have to. It has to be a thing. Like, I mean, after this drops, it's gonna be the intro to everything.
100%. Yeah.
And I want features from you. Maybe you can rap too.
Okay, let's relax.
I wanna hear you
That's
rap
not
on the track.
happening.
You will produce the beat and rap on the beat. Come on.
The only way I'll sing is if you pitch it somehow.
Got you.
There you go. See? Perfect.
He's like, no problem. I'll use Melodyne. You'll sound like a whole new person.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
100%. But yeah, no, we definitely gotta work something out with that. I mean, each of us have our
Well,
own.
we'll have to be a sequel.
Well, dude, yeah, because to launch the website with this, like, it's gonna hit. Like, I think if you back this with enough promotion, man, like, it's gonna do something.
We'll have
you
to
know?
have a decent amount.
Well, my goal is like
A lot of promotion.
the goal is like I just want something to represent everything up until this time. You know what I'm saying?
Very
And
well
we nailed that.
encapsulated.
We nailed that, you know? And I think it'd be cool if like maybe down the line we can create a track that's resemblance of what's going on now to them. You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Yeah.
And then how it's like, okay, I've come
Finally
from my
kissed a
struggle.
girl and it's something nice.
Not in
I
here.
learned
Not
that
in
water
here.
frozen, it becomes
Not-
ice. Like, I use the door handle now more than twice. And
I found out Dairy Queen wasn't only a meme.
yeah.
It was like,
It didn't rhyme. Like,
It didn't rhyme, Mike.
dude, Queen meme? Queen meme?
Yeah, it's like a secondary
I
rhyme.
didn't even notice your secret. I thought we were still on the.
No, I said Dairy Queen meme.
Well, it didn't rhyme what he said,
No,
but it rhymed itself.
With my own anyways, doesn't matter.
Still learning.
Still.
Freestyle, you gotta join in on what he's saying.
Yeah, true. You're right. Thank you.
He's making his own freestyle.
Thank you.
How long have you been even making beats? Like going from pro basketball hooper man to like an EDM producer. Like it's such a drastic switch in lifestyle. How long have you been doing it?
I think my first ever SoundCloud song, which doesn't even sound like a song, was really not.
It's just noises.
There's not even sub bass in it because I didn't know what that was. My kick is just like super overpowered to make up for it. Pretty much, dude. And it's funny because it's like the synths are very that sound, very girly
Stock
and high pitched.
plug-in sounding. Yeah.
That was probably you would say 4 years ago now, so like just hitting 4 years, but that was like my first ever like rap song. So past like 2.5 to almost 3, I've been like trying really hard, and then just like the past 2 years, I've found that my songs actually sound like songs.
I have to say your
The progression, Jinx.
is correct. Whatever.
Seriously,
Your
yeah. It's been a whole new life,
dude. Like I still remember first moving up here 2 years ago, and your dad playing your song in the gym, and like us being so proud of it, and like just like, and we're still proud of it. But now the stuff you release, compared to that,
And now it actually sounds legit.
it's like I thought it sounded legit out the gate. That's your, you know.
Because you were new to music, Michael.
Exactly.
I wasn't the only one.
But it's crazy
I
because
got-
like now.
No, I mean like hearing music. You were just used to hospital sirens and.
Hey, I had Eminem. Okay.
But it shows you that there's levels to this shit because
Oh,
like
dude.
even now like I in terms of engineering like because I make electronic music, I feel like most electronic producers engineer their own stuff, so, like mix and master their own stuff type deal. And so like even I just entered a remix contest and I actually got like I think it's the most streams out of any of the remix for this contest, and this is for a Jaws contest. He's like a super big EDM producer. And he actually listened to my song on stream, and he gave it
That's
feedback.
huge.
And on that stream, he gave me the highest rating out of all the ones he heard on stream.
No
I didn't win the
way.
contest; it didn't seem to be like what he was looking for, and he still like didn't like
whatever.
But he gave me like an 8.5 out of 10. He said on the production, which like is pretty sick. But it's crazy because like to me it was like I worked so hard on that. I put all of it, but it's still like there is still levels. And I even knew when I released it. I told my girlfriend. I said the parts of the song I just don't think are up to par. And like it's exactly how he felt. It crushed me hearing all that, but then I also kind of knew going in, like I knew that was true.
Yeah.
So it's just like crazy because like I've worked so hard. It's been like 3 years of just grinding, and I still know that there's more, like so much more to learn, you know. So it's like crazy.
Isn't it wild? Like just like you being a hooper and like looking up to LeBron and Jordan, you looking up to like all these EDM producers, and me looking up to like Cole Bennett. You know what I mean? So it's like Lyrical Lemonade, bro. I want to be the best editor possible.
Yeah.
But like, you're right. There's so many levels to this shit. I don't know how to build anything out of 3D models. I don't know how to like, but you know what I mean? It's time. It takes time.
Yeah.
So like,
It does take time.
I know people aren't going to be a fan of my work, but like a lot of them will be. So it's like, hey man, I'm just trying to
Target audience.
get to the next step, man.
Target
Like
audience.
I know I can't make everybody happy.
It comes back to focusing on the journey because like realistically,
Yeah, that's the best part.
Here's the big difference too. Like you'll hear some people who like become producers and they kick off really fast. Most of those guys have been making music. They're all like not making music, but playing music. Like they've been playing the guitar, piano, whatever. I don't play an instrument, bro. Like I don't play anything.
Nuts.
Like I don't play anything. So I've had to learn all like theory through
I was gonna
online.
say,
And
yeah, because
I draw all my notes in. I don't play anything.
Well,
You want MIDI keyboards? I got like
I
five.
have MIDI keyboards. I don't use them because I'm not like good with them.
actually, I remember that because when I lived with you, you had that huge ass piano MIDI.
I never used
I
it.
never used it.
No.
Yeah.
So
Sad thing.
I'll hum in my head or like I'll hum out loud and then I'll be like, oh, click, 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 click. And I've gotten, obviously, like for a while it took me so long to get what was in my head to there.
Yeah.
And but now I'm getting better at knowing, oh, this note's actually higher and not lower in my head.
Oh,
You know.
I've said that too. I can't read a thing, but I can hear it.
Yeah.
I will,
It's like
I will
feeling.
mix by hearing it.
And like all of my
Yeah, I always hear you go.
tunes.
Yeah.
Do your,
Yeah, and I'm just like listening to it, and I'll have to turn.
I've seen her do it too.
And I'm
Yeah,
just
Melodyne. I've seen her be like,
yeah.
that's
when
wrong.
we had
Oh,
that
that's wrong.
conversation, he's like, you can't read that. I was like, no idea what that means. I was like, I have no idea what that means, but I know where it belongs.
Well, yeah, because I remember we were in Melodyne and you didn't even like you were. That's actually crazy to me. You were in Melodyne and you didn't even know what key you were writing in, and you were just like you were putting what felt right without even like knowing what was like. You didn't have it set up to where it only showed you the ones.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, so I was mind blown. I was like, you're just like guessing, but you're always right because you know it sounds good. I'm like, that's impressive.
Dude, Melodyne in its own, like being able to read a vocal wave. So like when she's singing, but she has a couple of words that are the same note, like, and then I can physically see when she's done, so I can chop it and make new melodies, and you can do that too now. Like you can physically read the wave, which is just so cool.
Seeing
It's
her
a language.
working it, because I didn't see it for long, but I was literally like, wow. I didn't know Melodyne could be used that efficiently and like that quickly, and I was like, wow.
Melodyne's like my favorite tool ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Come to think about it too. You were the like Eric. You helped me so much. You both helped me so much with it. So like I remember you were the hard. I was
I think
intimidated by her
passionate.
because yes, and I loved it because remember how I was explaining earlier how like I was so like candle strapped down from my head to my. You were the one who was like, say like, come on, like
Let's
like,
go.
with your tonality that you already have as an artist. You kind of inspired me and showed me how to properly do that.
And it's funny because I can't do that. I can't rap for you know, if I'm in front of the mic, I'm like, I can't get out what I need to do, but I can tell you what needs to be done.
I know.
And I can tell you what sounds good,
That's
but I can't do
crazy.
it.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of times during verses where it's like, there's a time where like I should be upping my vocal tone and my tonality, where I'd be like, just like, and she'd be like, no, you gotta go him and it, you know, like, you know, and it was like, and then I would be tired, and it was like, we were just talking about how many takes we had to do this. Anyways, so it was like in between like 15 takes, and she'd be like, nope, another one, go, yep, keep going, yep. And I'd be like, is that good? She's like, nope, keep going, yep.
There's still things when I listen to it that need fixing, and like I am not gonna let that go until it's fine-tuned. I can't.
Well, we have
I'm
to
just
hurry up.
like,
We have to hurry up. We have like literally a week.
That's fine.
Yeah, we do.
Like I gotta upload this video for the song for Spotify like in 2 days.
The 20th is the release.
Yeah, but I mean like to get it on stores, it takes like a week.
20.
So like I gotta like be on that.
Get back.
It's not like you can just like
Get
post
back.
it.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So, but
Because
okay.
we're in Toronto this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Tomorrow's packed.
Yeah.
Maybe tonight.
Yeah, just message me. Or I'll call you guys. I have a youth center at 4 to 6. So after 6.
Were you recording stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know. Should we say it? There's a chance.
This
Honestly,
sounds
there's a
crazy.
chance.
What's going on
I
here?
like how it sounds, but if you...
I know for sure there's breaths, and I know there's some spots where I'm like, but I'll make it work with what it is.
Okay.
But there are some breaths and some.
How would that affect the music video? Like, would you just...
No,
No,
it won't. It won't. I won't even.
Literally zero.
I'm just gonna clean it.
Okay. Well,
I did hear a couple breaths, and I did think a little, it's like the tiniest, just like 2 things.
Oh yeah,
But
I
like,
just, the entire time I'm like, I'll let him finish.
well, like I didn't know if that was correct or not, because like I don't do rap, so I don't know what it's supposed
Well,
to.
I mean, dude, like after you hear the same verse 100 times, it's like, I'm gonna wait now, instead of mixing every take, I'm gonna wait until he has the take to mix it.
Yeah.
So now that we're comfortable with it, we should go and revisit it now that we're not hearing it 1,000 times in a day.
Right.
Preaching to the choir. When I've done those remix contests, bro, like it's a time crunch. Like oh my god, I pulled like 2 all-nighters for this
you
one
talked about
this one remix contest, and dude, ear fatigue was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
It was and I listen to my music blasting. I don't know why I do that, but I do. And it's like my LUFs are at like -1. Like they're loud, and my songs are loud as hell. So it's like, I don't know. I think I actually took some decibels off my hearing from that one.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, I bet my music, yeah, like I said, it's loud.
So if your eardrums are okay.
But probably not.
That's...
Okay, well, considering you got a youth center and all that,
What's on you? We got some stuff.
well, we've been chatting for
20 minutes? Okay, let's think about...
Dude,
I'd say like 5.
there's no way that is correct.
How much is it?
That is saying an hour.
Yeah, I believe that.
Huh?
Yeah, you
Huh?
said 20 minutes. I said that's not even close. to
I've probably been standing here for
Okay.
15.
Oh,
Mupping.
true.
So maybe...
Acting like you're not on camera.
And I'm out
Just-
here taking pictures and everything, and I'm thinking I'm not afraid.
Okay, so maybe let's...
Okay, well let's... Is there any final notes that we want to express?
Well, you're talking about 5 Cent City.
Okay, we'll do an
Yeah,
intro
yeah.
to that, and then we'll each chime in on what that is to us.
Sure.
Yeah,
Cool?
cool.
Yeah, I guess it was never really officially
Talked about.
said to be. Well,
No.
5 Cent City was never
That's a
said
good-
to be anything.
That's a good point, because I guess in the music video
So many
it's
people are
really in your face,
Yes.
but like not many people from the outside looking in don't know what that is.
100%.
So
100%.
give the quick breakdown so we're not here for another hour.
Okay. So 5 Cent City is this event that's run by our mutual mentor and really close friend, Christian. The whole goal of it was to connect through community and basically put on an event, full day event, where there's basketball, there's hip hop, there's, you know, so many different inspirational speakers and different types of speaking, poems, you know, and it's just a day that honestly forever changed my life. And 5 Cent City was ran for 5 years, as we know. And so the final year is when I rapped and I met you and Chase created the beat, and that's how that song came to be. And so all of us, what's beautiful is our brotherhood and our friendship has come from this event, and because of Christian creating this thing. And what I think is very honorable is the reason why Christian created it, on representing his community and where he came from and what he needed growing up in this town.
Right.
That was never provided.
Yeah.
And the fact that it exceeded, in my opinion,
Way beyond
like I still working at with the 5, or like when I used to work at the Y, people recognize me from that event like 2 years after the thing, you know. And still to this day I talk about it.
It surprises me how much the community actually decided to get together.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to try to pull that off, I wouldn't expect it to turn out.
Yeah.
Just considering the state of the city,
Right.
like it is what it is. But no one wants to work together, and no one wants to admit that they're in a shitty place in life.
Right.
And here we are, all holding hands at this event,
It's
like
crazy.
literally praying for a better tomorrow,
On the microphone in front of hundreds of people.
and everyone getting along. Like,
Yeah.
if you were to throw an event downtown, I guarantee you there's gonna be something that pops off. But never once was there anything at that event. That's how I know it was something special,
We
man.
also had some dudes in place.
We had
We had a team.
We
We
had
had a
some
crew.
dudes making sure that
Yeah,
was
yeah, we had a
but,
like
yeah.
that was the most gangster thing, is like
Yeah,
our
it's
men's circle, how it all came to be just from this event and all of our guys who united to build that up.
Yeah.
Like each one of us had our own responsibilities, and so we had guys like Trevor and Al and, you know, Christian.
You guys from the MC there.
Oh, behind the scenes, like Jerry, like holding it down.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It was.
But I really don't think that they ever had to flex their muscles, you know what I mean? Because, like,
Apparently they did a few times,
A couple
but
times,
we
but
just
not-
never.
yeah.
They were so quiet about it.
And they got it like
Yeah, they
right
did.
It was wild. Like I saw them move once, and it was just like a whispering. It was like a movie. They're like whispering to each other.
crazy.
They lock out. They get 3 people to go. They go and get the guy. They peace out and not a hush like me. Just like super
Take a
quiet.
bird.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's actually.
It was like
what's
double
going on.
agent. Like it was crazy.
You would see like a couple of guys just stand there like hovering, and then the rest would go out
Yeah.
and get the people, and they kick them out.
Nonchalant, just like chilling at the event, watching, you know, and then you see a bunch of guys behind you just go handle something, come back, you know.
regardless of
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just it was a cool event. Like, I'm super sad to see it not happen again. But
Yeah.
it's like Christian said, it's not over, it's not done, it's complete.
And that's where.
I forgot about those bars, bro.
Dude, that was that hit.
So hard.
When he dropped that night, I still remember. I was like,
Yeah.
and his voice was like tired and raspy, and it was just like it was so raw. You know what I'm saying when he said it, and I still remember, I will forever remember.
Yeah, I actually have the recording
Oh,
from. I have
dude,
the.
that has to be in like.
Oh, it's gonna be
Sample.
Oh, no, I already have it. It's
Okay.
one of my songs that I'm working on. It's not over, but it's complete.
Boom!
It's like
Yeah.
this big drop.
Oh, that'd be.
That'll be coming sometime.
Yeah. Sweet.
Whenever I finish it.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like it's
He scares the shit out of me as a human being. And I'll go on record saying that, because he's another entity. He is not a regular person.
I've told him all
That
the
man
time.
scares me to my core.
Yeah, I say he's,
He's not human.
he's not.
It doesn't make sense.
He's a descendant from an angel.
Yeah. For real.
I think he's Jesus. I really do.
Well, I mean, I call him Jesus, so.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's one. There's so many words I can use to describe him. He's the reason why I'm breathing. So
Yeah.
you know, that was one thing cool. That was I don't think I've ever talked about it, but something Christian said to me that really stuck with me was like, Mike, Boston City raised you. Fuck.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's not.
Because
That's
like
not.
the first time I left the hospital was the second Boston City, and then he's like, bro, like you had your first girlfriend, you had your first job, you had your first speaking engagement, you had your first basketball tournament, you had your first family come out to support you, like, and I was like, what? So like,
That's
even
kind of
for me, it was
realization.
it was way more significant from that standpoint, and that's why it's nice for me to say it's complete, because it did raise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the people like you guys coming into my life from that, being new family, you already being like one of the core members that brought it up, and then it's like here we all are collabing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Like,
I don't know.
If I think about it, Boston City was like kind of similar for me. Maybe not like raised me, but like it definitely gave me the opportunity to do things that I've done before. I mean, it was my first live performance. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. My first time speaking, like having a speaking job when I spoke. I think it was the second one.
Yep. It was the year I first came out.
And so it was very much like me growing, and I mean, it was a big thing. I went from being literally one of the dunkers who was doing like that side of entertainment to then being a musician, doing a whole other thing. And so it's really special. And I think that for me, it was cool to see like people from all different places in the town, people who are very successful, people who aren't, and then like finally kind of like getting together, and at least opening their eyes to seeing like what's going on, what the problems are, and like facing that and like looking at that with empathy and not looking at that like I feel like there's so much in the city that goes like people just like talk down on people who are struggling and are having whatever, and they're like grossed out by them, and I'm just like, they're saying how it's disgusting. I'm like, do you not understand that these are people and they don't want to be here?
Yeah.
Like, and that was like a big thing for me, and it was just like we're all from different places, but at least have the empathy and the like to understand that they're going through something, and then at least like have a little bit of you that wants to help.
Yeah, just
you know,
the
What?
smallest effort will go a long way.
the smallest effort,
Just
like
show up.
like just like someone's having a problem and you talk to them. It could be a friend, not someone who's struggling like in a crazy hole or whatever. Just like be willing to talk to them.
Yeah.
And if some people got it from going there, got that message from going there, and are more willing to help one more person in life, then
Job done.
It was already worth it. Yeah. Which I mean, I'm sure that's
It's just as crazy the lasting impact that it had, man. Like just me as a musician, the amount of people that still come up to us and they're like, "I seen you at Bison City." It's like,
And it's funny because a lot of people I think that I would have seen hip hop shows.
Right, like we're
And
the
it's
Grand
like, no,
in front of like 600 people.
That's so.
I think the hip hop scene is pretty niche, no?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it's there's a lot of
I'd rather
artists, but there's, in my opinion, but there's
I don't know anything.
artists. Like there's people who do hip hop, and there's people who are artists, and these guys are artists.
Yeah.
And you know, like that's how I would see it.
We're all artists.
Yes, but
all painting something.
But yeah, well, it's I think yeah, so boom. That's the same. Okay, you know what I was gonna say, to finalize it, each of us, if we want, to outro it, we could say like, what's our goal with the release of the song? You wanna do that?
I think the goal is pretty simple, isn't it?
What is
Release it, push it to full content because I don't even know if that's the right word to use. Push it as far as we can because it's gonna reach the right people.
But why?
Let me get there. I was just about to say it. If we push it full force, it's gonna get to the people that it needs to get to. There's gonna be someone out there who's dealing with something similar. Maybe not to the extent that you went through, but like someone who's going through it thinking that it can't get any better,
Yeah.
and they're like, look at this kid. He's alive, literally living his dreams and thriving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that just this video speaks on that on every level. Not only do we hit your old high school where you were basically dead, showing up to class, we go to the hospital, you see Walking Dead, right? You see we go to the hospital, you see the doctors that were handling your blood work.
Yeah.
We see these kids with IVs in your video, and then the flip side of that, you're hanging out with the people that weren't at your funeral because you didn't die. You're hanging out with all your boys, you're shooting shots, you're hanging out with us making music.
Yeah.
It shows both sides of the coin, and
It shows what's possible.
To me, it's the fact that you have a message of hope to send to those who have no hope left. You know, and it's just to prove that, like, you were done and you were ready to clock out. And I know there's millions of other people that feel like you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy, like, this doesn't have to be the end, you know? And your video states that and everything that you've been through. So,
Thank you.
like, I think that message of hope for those who have it is just, like, the perfect way that I see it.
Okay. Agreed. Okay. Go.
No, it's super slick. And I mean, hey, it's for damn too.
That's like that.
Too, man.
That's what I was like. I think it's funny because like a lot of I couldn't really express it because I felt so much shame about my brother passing. You know what I'm saying? My parents didn't know I rapped. My family didn't know I rapped. You guys didn't know I rapped. That's why I lived with you. Christian was the only person who ever heard me share my lyrics. And it's funny because there was actually a time in Sick Kids when I was overdosing off meds and I went delirious. Christian could talk about this, and the only thing I did was rap. Like I just freestyle. And like the nurses and stuff, and my parents even to this day were like, "You're actually good. Like you were, you know," but I was not even there. And some of the things I was saying and stuff, and then to come full circle and actually have a song. And then to your point about my brother is like, yes, like my goal with the song and the video and everything that we'll continue to push forward is me, like my brother isn't here.
Yeah.
My brother didn't have this opportunity. You know, like he's not breathing. And my responsibility and my duty that's on my shoulders is I have to carry his life and make something of it already what he's given to me because he's the reason why I'm alive. So it's like if I can transmute that energy through something to pass it on.
You're giving his death a lot of meaning,
Oh, yeah.
which is sick. I think that's like super cool. Is that like what he wasn't able to get, somehow his death and him, like his being, his whole life has now earned all of these other kids this chance to get out of where he was to living a good life and at least giving them that notion that it's possible, you know, and that's super sick. Like super sick. So I mean, we made it, we did it.
We did it.
We did the thing.
Did it.
I don't know how. But it happened.
Crazy. A year and a half in the making?
dude,
Yeah.
the other day I got a Snapchat note.
Snapchat story that you were recording a year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay, where can we find everybody? Socials, say it, might as well.
At @CKillGaming on Instagram, and my artist name is just Kill Gaming. So
Spotify, Apple, everywhere. Perfect. Where do we find you? What's your website?
Find me at michaelbrovac.ca
Nice.
Or you can find me at Michael Brovac on IG and all other socials. And the logo is just MB. So that's how you find me. How can we find you?
KONCEPT 705, Concept 705 on Instagram, Spotify, Apple, all that fun stuff. Concept, it's everywhere. Digital Caviar, I'm even wearing the shirt. Digital Caviar. Hopefully the stores will have Digital Caviar merch. But yeah, Digital Caviar YouTube, shop by Digital Caviar on Instagram. Bah!
Where can we find you, girl?
Yes, show your face.
Show your face. Right there too.
They're right there, okay.
And up here.
Oh wait, this one's cooler. It's further away. Britt Cora on Facebook, Cora.music on Instagram, Cora on all music platforms, YouTube, Digital Caviar. Let's go!
Hey, what else do you do though? Talk your shit.
Oh, I do music, I do video.
No, what's on your own?
Yeah, what do you
I'm
just
getting
do?
there, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I do tattoos, which is what I was, doing in the background.
That's why she was eating. She was on break. So
yeah, it's a busy day, but I do tattoos, so if you need me, it's Inked by Britt on Instagram.
boom.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. That is a wrap. That is a wrap. I hope this is still playing. I hope it's still recording and stuff. Peace.
Yeah, that'd be nice.